Welcome to Friday. We're doing Thursday's tutorial today on Friday because I messed it up yesterday and broke a needle and didn't know how to fix it. So Sarah's been over and sorted out the sewing machine for me. So we are good to go. Big fingers crossed, because I still have to change the foot in between. So this should be interesting. We are making a clutch bag. We're giving it another go. The clutch bag that we are making is this one. Okay. The idea is that you would hold it like this when you're out. It's a really simple make, really simple. So it was it's so that if you've got a wedding, you could make one that will match your outfit. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. Hi, Anne. Or at least I've got somebody watching me. It's harder to talk to yourself when you know there's nobody else there. Right, okay, so without further ado, we are going to go over here. I want to show you a collection that's come in today. Three. So this came in, well, it actually came in yesterday, I think. So this is now on the website. It's called A Bloom. It's by Coriander of Coriander Quilts. Okay. So we've got a few of these on the bolt, and we have all the pre-cuts. Okay. So it's sort of, you can see the colorway here. We've got these orange apricot-y colours here, and then greens and sea greens. That I would always call that like a sea green. I was looking at a sea last week, exactly this colour. It was beautiful. And then you've got creamy whites and some browns in there. So you've got, it's a floral, it's a bloom. It's got little tiny birds on it. There's little bird houses. So I think it's probably, oh, I like that. I wonder if we've got that one in. That's like a sea green duck egg colour, and it's got like, it's almost like it's been cross stitched. It's beautiful. It's a lovely spring-like happy fabric. So those are all on the website. It's called A Bloom. So we are making this. Look, I've got fluff all over it now. So when I made it, I didn't like, and we some of you will have heard this yesterday, okay? Because we did try this yesterday until I broke the needle. So I'm just going over all of it. The zip, I wasn't happy with the zip. It just goes messily into there, and the bow doesn't even hide that. I mean, if the bow hid it, you could get on with it, couldn't you? So I tried it again with a different method, and that didn't work. So I remembered Sarah had done one where I remember her saying she'd done something different with her zip. She was making, oh, I can't even remember what she was making, but it definitely gives a nice finished look. So we're going to try that one today. I did find it written down, and I printed it off from a lady who is Watership Down Crafts. So if you're like me and you like to read it and see it, then this is the method that Sarah was using. It might not have been from that lady, but it's the same method. So we're going to give it a go. What do you need to do this? Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, but I don't know whether to just keep going or whether it's just not worth it. if it's glitching and throwing me out. Is it something that I can do to fix it, or what do I do, sir? So I don't know whether you've got all the sizes now. So the middle of the bow. Hi Vanessa, I was doing it on Wednesday night. It does reconnect, but it's a pain. Okay, well, if there's anything that you need me to repeat, then you'll have to ask, okay? The middle piece of the bow, this piece here, I've cut that at 5 by 6, okay? So it's 10.5 by 7.5 for the lining and the outer. You want 15 by 11 for the bow, and then 5 by 6 for this. You want a zip, and you want 2 pieces, 1 inch by 2 inch, okay? And we're going to start with the zip, okay? So we're going to go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew here and here. I'm not going to cut it until I've sewn those pieces, and then we'll work it out. How did I get to that stage? Hang on, because it's throwing me. Take your outside pieces, your outer fabric, and you want to measure in 1/2 inch in from either side. I've marked it with a pin because it's dark fabric, and what I was using I just couldn't see. You want to mark on your zip the same size, okay? So whatever that measures at, so 10.5, it should be 9.5, yes, 9.5. You want to measure, and mark your zip in the same place, okay? And then you're going to put your little pieces of tab fabric, you're going to put them in place there. Now we're going to go over, and hopefully I won't break a needle this time. So we're just going to sew these in. It did say 1/2 inch on the thing, but we're going to do, we're just going to sew it down about, did that work? I've got no thread. Okay, so why is that not working? I don't think the universe wants me to show you how to do this. Right, okay, so we're going to thread this down there, up there, down there, through there. There we go. So we're just re-threading the needle because it just stopped halfway through, it broke. So we're just going to go re-thread this needle, hopefully. Let's put that down. I've got big fingers, and I know that there's an automatic threader, but I've never had any luck with them. I don't know where I'm supposed to put my thread on these. So we're just threading the needle, and hopefully we won't need to do that again. There we go. So foot up. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. So we've done the one. Yeah, I think the universe doesn't want me to show you how to make this clutch bag. So I think you need to all go out and make one. Right, make sure that your zipper tab pull is in the middle, not like I tried to do yesterday. I've now lost where I put that. There. I'm hoping that I'm not going to move this too much. Okay, so if we just sew that a little bit together, like that, I can stop fiddling with it. Okay. We're going to put this by there. And we're going to see, zippity-doo-dum zips are the best. It's a shame that we're not going to be doing them anymore. There we go. Okay, so we've done the zip by there. Okay, so we are about right with my calculations. So we're just going to trim this zip off, okay, by here. I'm going to take that bit off there and that bit off there. Now we're going to fold it over. How did it go? How did it go? Now turn the zip over and fold the end of the tab to butt up against the end of the zip. Right, so you're going to fold it so it comes down to here and then fold it again. Okay, so that's your tab there. Now you're going to just put a clip on it like that. You're not going to sew it right now. Okay, and we're going to do the same again. So you've sewn that on the front of the zip. You're going to turn it over so that you've got the back of the zip. You're going to bring this down so that the tab meets your zip, and then you're going to fold it over like that, which covers what you've just sewn, which is good because that was a bit of a mess. And we're going to clip that one again. You're going to take your zip and you want it face down. Now, I've always been a baster by hand, but you can sew this then in place. So we want to and just clip this in place here. And we're just going to sew. We're not going to sew close to the zip. We're going to sew it just at the edge, just to hold it in place so that you can fiddle with it. Okay, 4. So watching Sarah do this, it was so much, it seemed so much easier. Zips are always something that everybody seems to struggle with. And I think, I mean, the glue would help if you've got the glue. I should be able to do this without actually moving the zipper pull for now. And we're pulling this. Just putting the zip on so it's all basted. So you're not really going to notice. There we go. And we're going to put our one of our lining fabrics on the top. So you sandwich your sandwich the zip in between. Why is that come undone? Right, okay. That's because you've taken the thingy off, Sarah. Perhaps you start right from there then. That's just baste that in place. There. So you go from the end of the zipper tab so that you hold the zipper tab in place, okay, like that, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to sandwich our lining. We're going to put the lining on top of the zip and sandwich that in place. Okay, so we want to put a pin in there to hold that in place, and a pin in there just to make sure that it doesn't move. Okay, and we are going to sandwich that. Just make sure that the zip would be on the right side. We're gonna, you can sew from the beginning to the end on this one, okay, because you want these two fabrics to stick together, and keep feeling for the zip and make sure that you're in the right place. Hiya Claire, hiya Eileen, how are you? You're at your sewing group. It's okay, you'll be able to catch me up later. Right, so we're going to sew the zip on here. So we've been busy cutting ready for the next sewing street. I'm running this, the edge of this foot. I can feel where my my zip is, and I'm hoping that I'm doing this right. So we're going to move the zipper tab, pull up. All these zipper tabby pulley things. So we've, oh, did I forget to move it? Sorry people, I forgot to take it over. Right, okay, so we are now back. I'm now back, and I have sewn one side. We're not going to put a top stitch in just yet. We are going to put that in after we've put the other side in. That's not too bad. My zip still works. So we need these two pieces. So I need the next piece, which I've already marked at 1/2 inch, and we're going to put our zip right sides together in line with all of that. Okay, so your zip is now face down on your outer fabric, your second piece of outer fabric. I'm going to take that out of there. Make sure it's all level like that. Bring that out. Now this denim is slightly stretchy, so you've got to be careful not to pull as you sew in with it. We did have a lady who bought this because it's double-sided. She bought it and she made jeans out of it, which is really cool. Okay, so I found the foot again. We're going to go from the tab, and I'm basting it in place to make sure that it's workable. Making sure that it's on the edge of my fabric, all the way down. zips are a lot better if you do baste them down, whether it's glue based or sew based. They're just so much easier to deal with. Like I say, I'm used to baste them with a quick running stitch. There we go. So we now have no, it was me. It wasn't you, and it does keep knocking out apparently. So we're now going to sandwich this zip. It's attached to our outer fabric, and we are now going to attach the lining fabric on the top like that. Now this is just at the moment just a normal pouch. You could do this and stop at that pouch if you wanted to. Okay, so we're going to sew it again, me checking where my zip is because it worked quite nicely last time. So as we put the needle down, you're going to feel for your zip. You can feel the teeth in there, and run the edge of the foot there alongside the teeth. Try and move the zipper pull. Where are we? It's sandwich between those. There we go. Close that up. Now, realign it all. Now I've fiddled with it. Go in there. Realign it all like that. And make sure you don't put your fingers underneath the needle. And hopefully it will have gone in as even as the other one. Okay, so 3. I'll take this pin out. So we now have our zip in. So I'll turn our iron on. See, I've got like almost a whole zip here. So I'll have to see whether with the zip pulls that we've got in the shop, whether they fit that zip, because it's a shame to not have your zips, isn't it? You know, it's a shame to throw that amount of zip out. Right, so we're now going to iron this. I close that like that. I want to pull these out. I want to iron these away from the zip. Okay, so we're ironing all this away from the zip. Like that. Do you know it's probably one of the neatest zips I've ever put in. So far, I'm very happy. Turn that, and I'm going to pull this more that way. So there we go. Isn't that a beautiful colour? So we now have our zip is in lovely, and now I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to top stitch. Okay, so I'm going to top stitch down over the tab that I've put on, and down the other side and over the tab. Okay, I'll Perhaps we'll start with the tab. I can hide that there, in there then. So, good morning Patty, how are you? So, we'll go over to the machine. I want to up my stitch length. I think that's right. So, we're going to up the stitch length. And we're going to come across. Is that enough? Yeah. And I'm going to run my zipper foot almost at the edge, but a little bit away. Trying to keep it level. Let's just close that just in case. And it's going to go along. We're going to get to the edge. I'm going to turn it. And there we go. Nice and steady. It's not a race, although there we go. I'm just moving along here. I'm seeing that it's a little bit puckery. So the next step now will be to put the bow on. There we go. It's not too bad. We have got a little bit of where it's a stray thread, a little bit where the fabric was being pushed. But you could keep an eye on that. That's not too bad. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Right, we're going to put that aside for a minute. We're going to make the bow, this bow here. Okay, so with your what did I say, 15 by 11 piece, you're going to put it, we want it to be this side out, so we're going to sew it right sides together. So our right sides this time are the turquoise, and we're just going to put a stitch all the way down your 11-inch side. Put that back on 2.5, and I'm going to just run it along here. We're going to do as much as we can without me having to change the foot. So these seam guides that Sarah's got on, you know, the sticky seam guides, they work really well for you to get a general nice even seam. That isn't right. We're also going to take our 5 by 6 and we're going to fold it with the 5-inch, 5-inch sides together. No. Yeah, your 6-inch. Yeah, 6-inch sides, you're going to sew them together. Now I'm going to do it contrasting, so I'm going to fold them right sides together so that my 6 inches is running along there. So I'll just put a seam in this. Okay. that stuck? This doesn't want to come out now. Let's cut that. Oh, a pair of scissors. There we go. Where are we? 3. Right, so we've sewn this together. We're going to turn this round the right way. Okay, so that we've got blue showing. You're going to turn it so that your seam is in the middle at the back. Okay, like that. And just give it a bit of a press. Okay, like that. So you want the seam at the back. We're going to take our little piece that we've just done and turn that out the right way. Now I could have just left this and done them both in the turquoise, but I think it gives you a better perspective of how the different elements work. So you're putting up a new design wall today and getting the sewing room ready for me to spend a lot of time in it. Oh, you bad knees, but knees are terrible, really bad. You don't need bad knees. Right, so we're going to take our bow and we're going to pleat it. It doesn't have to be exact, but you just want to pleat it like this. Okay. Oop. And try and keep it in your pleats. So we had some sad news this week. A lady who was instrumental in believing in White Gecko. She was probably one of the first people to actually believe that White Gecko had something, and she asked us to take on the June Taylor. You want to do this bit, so you've got that pleat there, and then you go in. You want to put it so that the right sides are together, and you're going to sew along here and just sew this piece onto the bow, but you're going to do it, it's just a mess, but you just go along here. There we go. So yes, so we're just going to chop this off now. You've got all that because you can decide whether you want to make it looser or more or tighter. I should have made it looser because I now need to turn this round the other way. I should have gone looser there. So yes, so this lady was part of one of the fabric companies. If you follow EQS, you probably already know. But the three of us went up to meet with her and her partners to talk about taking on the June Taylor and being the ambassadors for it. And it was the first time that somebody saw potential in what we were doing, and we'll be forever grateful for that. She was a lovely lady. She straight, you know. I would imagine she would tell people very straight, and it's just such a sad loss. And they're such a family orientated business, EQS, that I think they're going to miss her very much. Now I think I've done that a bit tight, I have to be honest. So you just want to straighten all this out, and then we're going to, it's very warm in this room, you know. You want to make sure that your seams are on the same side, like that. So we now have our bow, okay, like that. Yeah, if you have a look, this one was a lot looser, a lot easier to manage. There we go. So we now have the bow. We're just going to take it, and on one side of this we're going to pin it in place. Okay, now you might want to make it wider than 11 inches, whether or not that would help it sit in better. Right, you want to come in about ½ inch from the bottom, okay, about ½ inch from the bottom, so that it's not caught in that bottom seam. And you're gonna pin this in place then. Like that. Let's pin in a pleat there. And pin in that pleat there. Like that. And then we're going to put this into place here. Like that. Okay. Yeah, you might want to make it a little bit wider than the 11 inches. I thought 11 inches would be enough. Oh, it's not too bad. Would be enough with, because we were starting with 10.5. So you want to come in ½ inch from the bottom, so that it's not getting caught in the rain, in the seam at the bottom. I'm thinking of pina coladas now. Okay, I'm getting caught in the rain. So we're just putting these pleats in so that it will stay pleated when you sew it, and we're going to baste it in place. There we go. Some of these pins are so pent you can't get them to go through. There we go. And that one like that. That's evenish. Let's put this one up there, like that. So we're just going to baste this in place on both sides. Don't understand why that. Oh, there we are. Let's give it a bit of release there. Okay, so you don't want your lining involved. So go back over here. Oh, you just caught me. Well, we're still working on it, Marilyn. Don't you worry. So we're gonna try and keep all that straight and just baste it within your seam allowance all the way down. So basted the first one in place, and just put the second one in, second side. So this would be lovely if you've got an unusual dress that you are wearing to a wedding. You could just pick out one of the colours and do the bow. Now the other idea of the bow, you could make your bows, make a neutral bag pouch and make your bows so that they are finished on the sides and put buttonholes on them and buttons on the bag so that you could change the bow as you're going. Right, in order for us to sew this bag together, you've got to make sure that your zip is partly, if not fully, opened. You're going to put your two outer fabrics together, right side together. I'm going to pin down there to make sure it's all in place. You want your zip tape to go towards the lining. So if you fold it so that your zip's going up, but the edges of your zip are going down. Put that in there like that, and then you're going to make sure your lining is together. I'm going to pin that there and there. That. Right, we're going to leave the bottom open, so I want to mark where I need to stop, because I'll start here and work my way around. So I always put a pin where I'm supposed to stop, generally in a different colour. So again, I want to fold this down so that my the material bit of your zip is going towards the lining, and then pin this so this is all together like that, and make sure this is sitting flat underneath even though it's bumpy, like that. Let's pin that as well by there. And then the last pin here, just like that. Hold that together there. Right, so we're going to start here and work our way all the way round. Okay. You'll watch from the beginning after. Hopefully, where it's been jogging out, it'll work. Right, I'm using a zipper foot. It's probably not the best idea, but we're going okay. We don't want to cause any issues. So we're just coming along to here. Turn it, or maybe one more stitch. Like that. And we're going to go up here. And I'm just following the edge of my zipper foot. Trying really hard not to break the thread. Okay, we need to come over this. It's quite a big I've got quite a big, what happened there? I've got quite a big lump here. I'm going to go slowly. Okay. I think I'm going to come around there because I think it's moved underneath. This fabric is slightly stretchy. It's beautiful and I love the colours. We've got it in orange, which is what I did the other one in, the teal. There's a green and I think a purpley colour. Just come into the edge again and turn. And like I say, at home I would have changed my foot. So make sure the zip is facing down. And go slowly over here. It's still quite a big lump. There we go. But the one thing about Sarah's machine is you know that it copes really well with these things. And then just round the corner. Just finish that off like that. Uncover the thread. Oof. And we're done. So we are now just going to turn it out the right side. I'm going to chop our corners off because it helps with bulk when you're turning corners around like that. So we're going to trim our corners like that. Just check that I've, oh look at that, oh that's rubbish, what happened there? Right, I'm gonna have to go back over that bit there. So let's just pin that in. I managed to catch all the rest but not there, so if I take it back to there, my edges, my seams are completely rubbish. They're not very straight at all. So if we follow from there, back. There we go. Hopefully that'll be enough to hold it together. I'm going to have to go out and try and see if I can buy a dress to match this now, aren't I? Okay, so I'll turn this the right way round. Let's check my zip. That's better. Both in the bag. Now you can see here that this, I've got the back of it, so you need to bring that back round to there, like that. So it now sits the right way round. with this, we're going to prod out some corners. Okay. I mean the principle of this is unlimited, with you being able to make it match whatever you want it to. I'm not sure whether the interfacing is better on the lining or the outside. Don't think it really makes a hoot of difference, really, does it? Oh, something went. There we go. There's my corner. And another corner. And I'll zip. It's not perfect, but it is so much better. Look at that. So we have a, yeah, maybe make that 11.5 wide rather than 11. It won't pull quite so much. And there we have a clutch bag. I'm not sure whether those are supposed to sit on the outside of your seam allowance. I think they'd sit better. But there you go. Have a play with that. We got through it. So there we go. We have another clutch bag. So have a play with it. See how it works. It's a lot better. It doesn't fall off. I mean, you could add a wrist band into it. We've done that before now, but I don't think it needs it. You could put a little Goldie, you know, a chain or something as a strap if you wanted to, but you'll be able to go and make it in any fabric that you want. Okay, we're done. So we will see you next week. Yeah, the year is really rattling through, so we will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, it's going to be really hot. We've got high temperatures, so make sure that you drink plenty and sit in the shade often. Okay, not like me where I like to get out there and toast. So you take care. See you. Bye.